everyone, and welcome to the All Things ITSM Global Podcast. We're coming to you from FUSION15 in New Orleans. I'm Kirsty McGowan. I'm here with Tristan Boot.
Hi, Kirsty.
Carlos Casanova.
Hello, Kirsty.
And it's our pleasure to be talking with Randal Locke from CA today.
It's my pleasure as well. Thank you.
Welcome, Randal. So, we hear that you're sort of Texas Ranger for ITSM, and you've been around for a while in this space. With just generally in service management. What have you seen change over the years, and where do you see things going? Obviously, there's a lot of stuff from a product perspective that you've seen and are seeing, but generally, more, is it the user experience? Is it the capabilities of tools? Is it the way they're going about it? What do you see, kind of coming at us in the future?
Yeah, that's a great question. In the 32 years I've been in this industry, in this space, a lot has changed. I mean, yet a lot stayed the same.
Sure. Right,
which it's kind of an interesting world. And as a vendor, I've been in the vendor space for 18 of those years. The technology is changing more from how do we enable more people to give it access, whether it's end users or even analysts now need the ability to, from anywhere, be able to get the data, update the data so everybody's in the know, right? So we're seeing a lot of usability from an analyst perspective, where in the last few years it's really been from an end user perspective. Right. How do we engage more end users to have better UIs to pull information, a service catalog available, those kinds of things to take them to the next step, sure. And as well as knowledge, of course. But what I'm starting to see from all of the vendors and really from the asks from the thousands of customers I see a year is really how do we take it to the next level to make sure the analysts are getting the information they need as quickly as possible, but in as few clicks as possible.
Right.
So I think people are going to have to get out of I need a system I can over-adapt. Right, because most of our technologies come very robust out of the box.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right, so and it's not rocket science.
Until we butcher them.
Yeah, and then we kill them.
Start playing with
and
them
then upgrades seem to cost you as much as it did the implementation, right?
Yes.
Which people need to get out of the what am I doing today,
right,
to get back to what should I do? Because we got a lot of talent in the industry, right? I mean, and a lot of best practices, and this is a great spot for it, right? Yeah. What should you do and how should you do it, right? And those kind of things, I think people just need to take the blinders off of what have I been doing and how can I do it better. Right. So I think the usability of having an analyst on a mobile interface, being able to say, what's the status of where I am today? Is it a good day, a bad day? How much do I have to do? Where are things popping up? What building should I be at? Those kinds of things, I think the faster we can get that kind of information to them, the better it's going to be for the entire organization and the way they can close that business and make sure that the incidents get closed as fast as possible and minimize the negative impact on the organization.
Yeah.
Now, do you see sort of general analytics playing into that? To sort of more predictive. We talk about closing them fast, and obviously the ideal is to not have anything to close. Right. So do you see that also kind of playing into the analyst that hey, I can take the extended lunch? Because I don't have.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to. But now, I don't know that the analytics is going to go so deep to the actually analyst itself.
Okay.
But definitely to the supervisors to have enough information. Is all of the people I have everywhere. Right. Let's make sure that we're getting the stuff that we need, right, in the places that we need it. Because the biggest change I've seen in the last 2 years is configuration management, change management. People are really now, after what has it been, 12 years here in the U.S. of ITIL, right, or something like that people are starting to go, this configuration management stuff, what's it mean, right?
believe me, they ask me all the time.
And you even wrote the book on it.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's these, everybody's going, I just need a data center move. I got to put all my stuff in the database. Yeah. Right? No. Right?
It just
it's
doesn't
great
work
to
that
have
way,
it there because incident management needs to know about it. However, that's not helping you understand risk. Yep. Doesn't help you understand impact, right? So I think people are starting to get a handle on what really configuration management is. And they need a facility to easily get that data in, easily interoperable with all the discovery capabilities, understand easy relationships, because it's not about building a data warehouse, right? It's really just about those things that are important, right?
Please, you're hurting me. Just
right? It's like all the stuff you've got, right? I mean, it's just makes sense. Get it what you need, where you need it.
Make it available.
And have it available.
Yeah.
Right? And current. Because if it's old and I look at something a couple times and it's old, I'm not going to look again.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the one thing that I see all the time. It's from a consumption perspective, recognizing what's good and bad. And if I can't recognize what's good and bad and I can't separate the two, I'm going to assume it's all bad.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it's it's a horrible situation when I see certain implementations where they have some great stuff in there, but the people have just pretty much written it off because they can't distinguish the 5% that's horrendous from the 70% that's awesome and the 20% that's good enough.
Yeah.
but it's like, it's all horrendous.
Yeah.
Because I got burned by it twice, and that's
Exactly.
the
Yeah,
end
and
of that.
what I've seen too is they get in there and they want, we need a CMDB, we have to do this.
Yeah.
And then they start putting data in there, it's just too complex, they're going down too far, so that once
Absolutely.
they might have it absolutely perfect, which is unlikely, but
Yeah.
even if it's absolutely
they
perfect
don't.
for
Okay.
1 minute, it's
For
only
1
going to be
minute, yeah.
perfect for that 1 minute.
Right.
5 minutes later, it's going to be out of date, and it becomes too much of an overhead
Yep.
to keep it up to date.
Yep.
So you
Oh,
really,
but we're going to use Discovery.
oh yeah,
To
of course.
populate everything we can.
And
The
but-
thousands of
I
things.
think
Because
that-
we need a copy of our network topology tool.
That's right.
Yeah, it's that whole KISS principle, keep it simple.
simple. Yeah, that's
Really
right.
keep it as simple as you can and only record what you actually are going to use.
And
If you're
can
not going
govern.
to use it, don't
And you can
record
actually,
it.
and that's the thing I always ask, going into a new engagement, it's, we want to do, first of all, if they say they want to do CMDB, I know it's not
that
going to
you're in the
generally
wrong
work.
place. Yeah.
So, but then I'll ask, why? Why do you want to do configuration management? And they're like, yeah, we're going to do a CMDB for, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a long engagement. Or sometimes I honestly do tell them, you're not ready for doing this. You need to fix all these other things. And some of them listen, but it's getting them that capability.
And one thing I kind of started with because of configuration management is everybody had this grandiose idea of I wanted this big hunkin' database, right? So I came up with a principle called Start Smart, right? Which says pick a business service, map out the first 30 to 60
one
things you know.
service, yep.
Not everything you can discover, but what do you know? Then just classify each one, right? Determine what 3 to 5 things do I care about from an attribute. And 3 to 5 relationships, because it's not everything. It can't be, right?
You can't do everything.
And then kind of build from there and figure out what do I have discovery on, what's manual, minimize the manuals, right? Because if it's manual, it's going to be
It's not going
Oh,
to.
yeah.
The
outdated,
scary thing is that people go off and do ITIL foundation training. They go back to work and
On the
say, we
experts.
need a CMDB, and it's got to do this, 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 and this.
And I think
it's
so
scary.
we're obviously spending a lot of time talking about CMDB here, but I think this goes a lot deeper than that on all the data that we collect and what tools are actually capable of collecting. You get what you can, not necessarily what you should.
Right.
Yes.
And so therefore you're reporting on what you can, and you're not actually really thinking about putting it into the business value. And and I think that's an area where there's a lot of work that can be done in current tool sets and certainly processes in people's minds.
Well, and I think people out of the box have tons of value. I mean, we have, 50 fields or 45 fields in the incident. You don't need that many,
No.
but we've got them for different classifications.
Yeah.
The rest, don't use.
Yeah, don't use
Right?
them.
I mean,
Just
use
because it's
what
there
you
doesn't
can
mean
do.
you
Yeah,
have to.
exactly. They're there once you mature,
Right.
and you need things like resolution code, resolution method. How did we do things? Why did we do it? Did we have to reboot? Did we apply patches? Just simple things that makes reporting better, because everybody generates hundreds of reports, and nobody looks at them.
Yeah.
Or hundreds of notifications that go
Oh, yeah,
out
even
every
worse.
month.
Because then people stop looking.
Yeah, because I want to know that you've
Well, it
got it. I
becomes
want to know
noise.
you're working on it. I want to know it's done.
Right. If you don't have a continual service improvement plan on it, don't track it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No,
Start
that's
with
right.
5 or 6 pieces of information, grow a little bit as you need it, and tie it together. Because I mean, if I get that stuff right, problem management's more robust, more capable. And then the change side, I can start tying back to the incidents, and I can start understanding what happened and why, what groups need to improve on their testing plans, right, and their release strategies, and how do we get there, right? Because most of the tools are good, right? I mean, my competitors are good, right? It's how do we have out-of-the-box content versus how do we build it? Because if you've got to build it, then somebody's got to support it. You got to have those developers in the back end. Then you got to have upgrades, cost you as much as it did to implement. You can't afford that anymore, right? Nobody has the time. That kind of blows out the water, the kind of the Scrum, the DevOps, right? You can't get there if you over-adapt the technologies, right? You just
But we're unique.
everybody.
Everybody's
It's amazing.
We
how
do
many
things
uniques-
differently.
Oh, absolutely. But you've never worked here.
Yeah, no.
It's amazing.
Every place is the same. They don't realise it.
It really
It doesn't
is.
matter if you're a hospital or a bank
No.
or a manufacturing plant.
Exactly.
It's
Absolutely.
no different. It's
Or
no
government,
different.
right?
Yeah.
We can't change here. Oh,
Yeah.
you're already changing by not
Yeah,
changing.
That's right.
Well, actually, some of the government departments at home are probably the ones who are most, adapting most to the new environments.
Yeah, shockingly so,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, thank you so much, Randal.
Sure.
It's
Thank you for the
been
time.
a pleasure
Great talking
chatting
to you.
with you.
You as
you,
well.
Randall.
Thank you.